Oh, in physics, and the missing link is Einstein, and then understanding metaphysics of it. Um, this reality, three-dimensional reality with time variation is in the context of Earth is understood to follow Newtonian laws of movement, and this the Einstein's theory of relativity, an understanding of gravity is not really applicable to Earth. That is generally promoted by physics and science. That only in to drive to adjust GPS technologies, adjust time. Einstein's theories work out, but then Einstein's theory is really applicable, generally discussed in physics through astrophysics. Physics of the universe, physics of interstellar spaces. Whereas here I would explain, I will give you a good explanation. Imagine Tesseract, I saw Tesseract with 32 frames, all have day light. So what is happening is, really have that Tesseract, you need to first understand human imagination and human cognition. Uh, Einstein's theory of relativity would say that um, time or space frames can be stretched, and then though through manipulating quantum quantitative of light, and then what you use, if you're traveling at the speed of light, you can bend space and time, and it takes gravity, though that needs to be understood through Einstein's theory. Whereas Einstein would then explain, and the physics which follows this the classical physics of Einstein, and even quantum physics would say that there is imaginary time and imaginary space. And what is human thoughts? Imaginary time, and if you really think about it, I'm walking miles, and I'm thinking. My reality is defined through my movement, that is, I'm walking horizontally for miles with physical exertion and my physical fitness. But my mind would be thinking ideas. And that's what imaginary space is, and that's what digital output is as well. These digital technologies work with imaginary space and imaginary time. Now, then really be sure, human dreams are an outcome of basic Tesseract technologies, where imaginary time and imaginary space is really identified. But it is better than digital technologies, because human dreams are three-dimensional, my dear friends. Three-dimensional dreams work great with the physics of Tesseract technologies. But yet, human dreams are again, in a real world, human dreams are still referring to imaginary space and imaginary time. For most of the people, though, who have not really trained their minds, for Buddha, for great philosophers who have mastered metaphysics, imaginary space and imaginary time might have many other interpretations, like what is in Hindu mythology, these gods traveling and having power to travel across the spaces, represent themselves in the outer spaces of interstellar spaces, outside of Milky Way, standing outside of Milky Way with such power, this metaphysical power. And that's what is the real explanation is. But you need to understand, that human dreams would let you understand what imaginary time and imaginary space is. So if there's a real Tesseract technology, what you would do, there are many ways to use the Tesseract technology. First is, if you are in box, let's say the first frame, time and space frame, then you want to travel directly to another distant time